I would shut down Apple. Wait, I didn't say that. Michael Dell, the founder of Dell Company, said, I would shut down Apple and gave the money back to shareholders. Yes, that was the thinking about Apple. But did it shut? Well, who am I to speak?
Deeper into Apple, that was the one Mag 7 stock in the red today.
Our Apple employees have been charged in a donation scheme.
Well, Apple delayed its AI updates.
Now, Apple is facing a legal claim accusing it.
Apple shareholders have rejected
Its Apple finds itself in a precarious.
Apple shares closing in a new high as its market cap.
Apple, a tech company that is known for its MacBook and iPhone, brought a tech revolution in the global market. These products didn't just sell, they transformed the way of using gadgets. Yes, students bought iPhone and MacBook as a symbol of success, and Gen Z went crazy to buy the latest iPhone model just to flaunt on social media. But how was it really possible that a tech company could become so big that people literally went crazy to just have it? Well, before I dive into it, let's walk through the story of Apple. Apple was founded in 1976 by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Steve Jobs, a 20-year-old boy with his old friend, built a personal computer in their home garage. With almost no money and big vision, these youngsters started working on a computer that they never thought would become the first company to reach 1 trillion market value. This journey started in Jobs' parents' garage in California, where Wozniak built the hardware and Jobs, with his passion for design and product vision, handled the business side. Together, they created the Apple I, a simple wooden circuit board computer that was sold for $666. After this, Apple II was launched and then Macintosh. Apple went public in 1980. This was the time when several of its employees made millions overnight. And in 1984, Apple launched its first commercial 1984 Super Bowl.
We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be.
And this brought an immense success. So Apple was an overnight success, right? Well, no. In April 1958, John Sculley, former CEO of Apple, whom Jobs hired from PepsiCo, saying, do you want to sell sugar water for the rest of your life or want to come with me and change the world? It was a great decision to bring genius mind in the company until they started having conflicts. Where Sculley wanted to sell the Apple II for education and small businesses, Jobs wanted the company to focus on closed architecture Macintosh. Now, here is when things messed up. Sculley proposed a corporate reorganization. This took all the power from Jobs, and that was when Steve Jobs was kicked out of his own company. But now was the only beginning of the end. Where Sculley was sure he would take Apple to the next level, things started going on the south. In the absence of Jobs' leadership, Apple started facing financial losses. In mid-1990s, the company was nearly bankrupted, struggling to compete with its competitors like Microsoft. On the other hand, Jobs founded Next and acquired Pixar, which became the top animation studio by Toy Story in 1995. Seeing Apple in the bad condition, Jobs came back to Apple as CEO and focused on design and innovation. This happened in 1997. After going through major collapses, Jobs came back was outstanding. Products like iMac, iPod, iTunes stores, iPhone, and iPod changed the whole perspective of people towards technology. Now, the question is, how did Jobs really turn the tables for Apple? Well, in one word, Apple did emotional branding. Yes, Jobs knew that if he wanted to make Apple a regular brand, he had to get inside the mind of people. And this is exactly what he did. Number one, Apple didn't sell the product, it sold feelings. For a device, it wasn't just the hardware or the software of the device. At the end, it was about the impact and the impression it was creating on the users. And this is what Jobs got up in his branding. Instead of talking about RAM and processors, Apple created an experience for the users. Let's say for this ad campaign. Chilote, a marketing campaign to promote iPods. Apple focused on creating an emotion by creating vibrant background and dancing figure. In this one campaign, Apple showcased that the joy and the freedom people get through listening to the music. Crazy, right? And this made people want to listen music and be chill. After this, Apple launched another super hit campaign, which was Shot on iPhone. Now, the beauty of this campaign was to showcase the photograph taken by users itself. Yes, Apple emphasized creative potential and real-world capacity of iPhone camera by encouraging people to capture and share their photos to Apple's team. And Apple created UGC, user-generated content, to build a community. Now, this led to over 6.5 billion impressions and 95% of the positive mentions, with 24 million mentions on Instagram alone. So Apple was doing marketing using its users. Number two was cultural currency. The biggest move of Jobs was to symbolize Apple as a status and identity. iPhone's sleek design and premium pricing showcase it as a luxury item than just a smartphone. In 2016, Apple launched AirPods. They showcased its functional role as a fashion accessory and status indicator. Apple did it by its detail to design and innovation. Instead of being everywhere, Apple made it feel very exclusive to hold an Apple device. Scarcity created luxury and making it a status symbol. Apple created such a buzz in public that owning a latest model started signifying being a part of global community. And be it its campaign like Shot of iPhone or Think Different, Apple created an ecosystem and built an emotional connection with its users. But how was it possible? Well, simply because of its attention to details. Jobs said in New York Times article in 2003, design it not just what it looks like or feels like. Design is how it works. Even Apple Store were designed with sleek and minimalistic aesthetic features to look luxuries. Apple was successful in creating a status for people to share and flaunt with their iPhones. Now, this was the story of Apple. It created a brand for lifetime. But how can you improve your business? So, here are 3 quick takeaways which you can learn from Apple's journey. Number 1, build emotion, not features. You might have heard people don't buy product, they buy experiences. Well, that's what Jobs did. He made Apple an identity, a luxury experience. Stop listing benefit about your product. Start selling the stories, the experiences and the journey, because at the end, that's what lasts for longer. Number 2, make consistency a constant. Consistency helped Apple to build trust for long term. From packaging to website to physical stores, Apple always looked and felt the same. Now, this aesthetic, same vibe made this brand feel elite and reliable. Don't miss this. It is consistency that help your customer remember you for long term. Number 3, your customers are your marketers. Apple used the most powerful marketing, that is its customers, creating ads, campaigns and launches in a way that people want to post and share about it. Create a community that speaks good about your brand, that people brag about being your customer. Now, these were the quick marketing lessons that can help your marketing reach next level. But it's on you how you showcase your brand. In the end, if you're starting a business, have a reliable business, or have an idea about business but stuck in marketing, then you can book a call with me. Well, we are going to discuss and go deeper into winning marketing strategies for your business. In short, I will help you create a brand that your customers brag about. So just click the first link in the description. You will see some open slot and you can book your call. In the end, Apple became Apple because of this man. Stay hungry, stay foolish.